What's up, everybody? It's Roger and James here from the DisKingdom Podcast. In this episode, we're going to be talking all about Disney's brand new resort that they have announced that's going to be coming, a new kind of DVC kind of thing on the grounds of the old River Country Water Park. But before we do that, remember to hit that subscribe button on YouTube or the podcast to keep up with our daily episodes. So, James, let's just jump into some of the detail here first off. So they've announced this new nature-inspired mixed-use resort on the Bay Lake. So it's going to have something more close than 1,700 new hotel rooms. I'm just reading through here some of the details. It is a new deluxe resort which is supposed to fit in with the natural surroundings, which will all include 900 hotel rooms and a proposed Disney Vacation Club villas spread across a variety of unique accommodation types. Walt Disney World is in the midst of a significant expansion in the last 2 decades, and the combination of 117 new hotel rooms and the proposed Disney Vacation Club. We are building 4 new different resorts that will create thousands of new construction and permanent jobs, which will drive forward economy, opportunity, and revenue for Central Florida. Has not yet been named. This is going to be the 16th Disney vacation property, and this kind of thing definitely comes into it. They also go into a little bit more because of what they've said for the Disney's Colorado Springs Resort, which has got a brand new 15-story tower that they're building that's going to be for 2019, which has another 545 rooms. So I'm wondering if they've kind of, that 1,700 is mixed between these 2 different bits and pieces. And then they go on about Galaxy's Edge and Pandora. So they're just hyping it up. But new resort going in on what was the River Country Park, which was, they had a Country River. It was a water park, but based on river water, and it was very popular. But unfortunately, they had problems with the water quality, and I think it had to get shut down. And it's literally been abandoned. If you look on YouTube, you'll find people that will sneak in and it's like this eerie zombie place where there's just a water park but with nobody there, and Disney just left this just rotting for a lot of years. So it's nice that they're finally doing something with it. I'm not too sure on the concept art. The concept art looks extremely dull. You literally feel like you could slap any single hotel brand name on the building and it would look like it. But Disney are going all in on these resorts. They want to make sure that if you're coming to Disney, you are staying on site and rather than going outside.
Well, I mean, it makes sense for them. They've already got almost every other dollar that you spend in Florida or Disneyland, even though we're talking about Florida in this particular case. It wouldn't surprise me if in a couple of years they open their own airline so you can fly directly to Disney World from anywhere in the States or possibly even Europe. But yeah, they obviously want to dominate as much of the hotel market as they can. There are incentives to stay at the hotels. The fast passes in Disney World. If you're staying at an on-property resort, even one of the cheap ones, like cheap in quotes, of like the Art of Animation, you get to do your fast passes 2 months in advance, whereas everyone else, all the lowly commoners, only get it to do 1 month in advance, which is a huge deal when you're talking about some of the super popular rides like the Slinky roller coaster or the Flight of Passage over at Animal Kingdom. So they're going to want to put as many of these in as possible because there's huge incentive for people to go.
Also, DVC, it continues to grow. People are really kind of getting in on this kind of timeshare system of going to Disney regularly. People go in there often. They want to be a part of it. They want to have that thing that they can do. They can pay for it. So that's why these things, they keep opening up DVC resorts, because I don't think they can get enough of them. They're selling out, and they're being very, very popular. Having been, my dad and parents had a timeshare for 20 plus years. We used it all over the place, including going to Florida a number of times and staying in the village and stuff. Not something I would get involved in because I like the free. I've lived that thing of being tied to timeshares, but I think it's great. I think this is definitely interesting to see what they're doing. Much better to have something there than just an abandoned water park. They might as well use that space and turn it into something nice. And at some point, you're kind of thinking, you're going to announce that 5th park or something to actually go and do rather than just keep an out. But maybe this is the thing. They've got to get the infrastructure in place, get more hotels built, more rooms. get all the car parking sorted, get everything. At the minute, everything here is about trying to accommodate the amount of people going and to keep upscaling for the amount of people going. I mean, yeah, we've got Galaxy's Edge and Pandora, but obviously we've got this new, probably the third Universal theme park coming soon. They know there's more coming, and there's more, and Disney's got plenty of space. So it kind of makes sense. Anyway. Yeah, they keep just got to keep growing and keep up with that demand. And the amount of resorts is insane. How many they've got so far.
It's also worth noting, you were talking about transportation there for a little bit, and car situation, the number of people who have to park at the parks. It's an advantage for people who stay at the resorts. A lot of the times they're connected to the monorail, or if you're on the water, like this one will be, you can often take a boat that goes directly from that resort to normally the Magic Kingdom, and I think there's a couple other hubs around as well. And they're massively convenient. They're so much better than driving a car if you can do it. The monorail I give 50-50 because if you try to take it at like park opening or park closing, even during the slow season, if you consider them having a slow season anymore, they're massively packed. But during the day, not too bad.
But also, this resort, I think it's going to be connected to the new gondola system, the Skyline.
Right.
So that's the new so that'll be going between at least 4 resorts and a couple of the parks. So it's that kind of thing. If they can get you to Epcot and if they can get you to Hollywood Studios, then it means then that you can jump on the monorail to go to the Magic Kingdom. You can go on that. I know when we stayed at the French Quarter, we loved the little boat that we could take down to Disney Springs. That was fantastic. Loved all that. But obviously, the last time we went, we stayed off site, and there's so much property and so much stuff out there, but they definitely seem to be looking at trying to get you to stay in their own, pay for them to stay there.
Well, of course. And it's because of everything else too. Because if they can get you to stay at the hotel, then you're probably eating at the hotel restaurants. You are probably not really leaving the Disney experience at all. You're probably not going to Target or Publix or any of those grocery stores to get food. You're just staying on property. You're getting the food at the parks. You're getting it at the hotel. You're spending your free time at the hotel. You're going to the pools there. You're staying in the. You might be renting movies on the television screen. You are 100% in Disney when you're staying at the resorts.
Well, I know, like the last time we went earlier this year, we stayed in a villa outside. The first time for the last few holidays we've been out there, though we stayed off site. And like you say, there was a noticeable difference to how much I think we did spend less there because, as you said, we were going to the supermarket buying food. We were going out to restaurants, out on the roads because we weren't tied to the Disney dining plan, and we could have that choice. I'll be honest, we ate better because we weren't having to worry. We could go to a steakhouse down near out and go out to these different restaurants because we had the flexibility. But them tying you in, definitely things. I know I'm currently doing my planning for my next Disney trip. I am looking at these, the Disney hotels and stuff and going, I'd like to try out a few and stay for a couple of nights and do something different, doing things a bit differently. But I think just having another hotel, it can't be bad. I mean, it's a dead area. They might as well use it for something. And they definitely seem to be also be going up. I think they've started to realize now that these resorts, they are so sprawled out that you're having to walk for miles when you get to the lobby or to the car park. And they're massive great wings. Whereas if they can go up and build towers, they can get a lot more people into a lot less space. And it's a lot more, just a lot more convenient. I mean, I've heard people talk about some of the other resorts, like I think it's like the Colorado one, it is, and the Caribbean.
You keep calling it Colorado. I live in Colorado. You keep calling it the Colorado Springs Resort. I'm like, what? That's an hour from here. I've got a Disney resort now. It's Coronado Springs, and it's in Florida. Just so we're clear.
Sorry, yeah.
Sorry,
my English kind of. I'm just reading but some of these big resorts are sprawled out. And I know, like going to the ones I've been to, you have got to walk for 5-10 minutes just in. Whereas if you're in the tall towers, it's a lot easier to get around because you've got elevators and stuff.
Yeah, and And I've definitely noticed that. I have a friend who's got the DVC membership. I've taken advantage of that a couple times. We stay at the Wilderness Lodge, which is the one that's going to be, on the same route as this.
Yeah.
I have to say the experience doing the DVC versus like the regular or staying at these nicer hotels is such a huge jump up, and it's just so convenient. But like you were saying, it's sprawled. Walking around the Wilderness Lodge, it feels like you're walking for miles just to get from your cabin or your hotel room to the lobby or to where the food is or to where the boats are to where your car is. There's a crazy amount of walking. And I mean, that's not a terrible thing. We could all certainly be in better shape, but sometimes you just want to be like, I want to get out of my hotel room and I want to get some food and then I want to go back to my hotel room and we're good.
Yeah, especially if you've spent 12 hours trotting around a theme park. The thing of when you get back to that resort and you've got another 20-minute walk to your things. I know when me and my wife, we hadn't quite realized for some reason that when we did our like pedometers on our phones of when we got back, we were clocking at 15,000 steps. Probably the busiest day of my year of my steps on my phone are those, and we literally could mark the days of what park. It was like then we did a beach day, and you could see our steps had just dropped by like 10,000 steps just because we went to the beach.
That's a lot of steps.
Yeah, I know, but it was just like you could when you. I've never seen that. I think that's because we could literally see what we've done, and it's like much more than a work day, anything like that. It was our busiest, and I think there is that thing of them going up, and also, more importantly, it uses less space. When Disney were building originally, they had all this 26-mile space, and they could just keep spreading out. Well, now it's probably along the lines of, well, they've used up so much more space that if they go up, they're not using as much ground space.
Yeah, that's definitely true. You get more value per square acre going vertical than you do going horizontal.
Well, I mean, you look at the car parks. I mean, if they took some of those parks at like Magic Kingdom and Epcot and how sprawl, I mean,
and
if you've never seen these car parks, you have never. It's like, I mean, to see them from the air must be the space that they use for these car parks is insane. It's like when you go to Disneyland and suddenly then you've got the car parks there. You see, why they have to do it, but how much more space it'd have if they went. I mean, trying to get out of Universal and stuff, you can tell the difference. It's a lot easier. But generally, you can definitely see how, even at Disney Springs, you realize that they've had to go up to put in car parks because you can't keep sprawling out. And then they need the trams and they need everything that goes with it, and the multi-stories and towers just can accommodate people so much easier.
Also, keeping in mind, it is a lot more expensive for them to go vertically than it is for them to go horizontally, because you've got to do a lot more maintenance on vertical structures. You've got to make sure the foundations stay a lot solid, etc. Because if you screw up on the maintenance, you could have a 20-story tower dropping on a whole bunch of people, and that's not going to be good for PR. So I assume one of the reasons that they sprawled outward instead of upwards in Florida was to save on costs and long-term maintenance. But yeah, I wanted to go back on one point. When I'm at the parks, got my little pedometer here, I think I average around 25 to 30,000 steps, which is a lot more than my daily average. The best day, or depending on your point of view, that I ever had was 50,000. That's 50,000 at Disneyland when I was walking back and forth between the two parks. I was like, I'm going to go on Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah, that's all the way at the back of Disneyland. Oh, now I'm going to go do the Tower of Terror. Yeah, that's all the way at the back at Hollywood of California Adventures, just back and forth all day. Hey, if you want to practice walking, the Disney parks are where it's at, man.
Yeah, I think the thing is, if I was probably on my own at a park when I used to do my traveling and go to the parks on my own, I probably would be zipping around a lot more. I think when we had last time, we had a couple of smaller children with us, with some adults and stuff. There was a bigger group of us, and I planned a little bit. We were winging it a little bit more, but the idea of you went where we were, you went on to whatever was next, because it was the thing of trying to. I know when we tried to traipse a family from one side of the park over to Epcot to get some fries because the kid wouldn't eat. That was a trek, and I ended up having to pick the kid up and carry him, and that was the thing of like, we can't do this with little ones. That was a quick trick. I was like, this slightly changed on day one. I'm like, I've realized the problem that I've got to adjust my my park day for this one, because it does change it. And so I think going up and taking up less space makes it a lot easier for families as well.
Yeah, and plus when you go up, when you've got like the upper levels of these hotels, you get some great views. There's a lot to see, and being able to see, say, the Epcot ball and the Magic Kingdom pyramid castle from like the same general area, being able to maybe see Animal Kingdom, say the Himalayan coaster or whatever, that's pretty awesome. So it would be nice for them to go a little vertical, have a nice observation deck on the top, and just be like, here.
And then you have a restaurant, and you can see the fireworks, and they can charge you even more for it. So that's kind of great. But we'd love to know what you guys think of these new resort, obviously on the old river country, and also what they're doing to Coronado? Whatever. Wherever it is. Love to know your thoughts on it. Remember to go check us out over at DisKingdom.com. And James, where can they find you?
You can find me heroiclegacy.com.
Thank you very much for joining us. We'll be back soon. Laters.